Imagine the thrill of your indie game getting nominated for one of the biggest gaming awards out there, but then realizing you might not even qualify because of your past projects. That's the dramatic twist in the story of Megabonk's developer. And it's got gamers everywhere talking. But here's where it gets controversial. What really defines a debut in indie gaming, especially when big money lurks behind the scenes? Let's dive into the details. The solo developer behind the action roguelike hit Megabonk, a nominee for Best Debut Indie Game at the Game Awards 2025, has decided to step back from the competition. Why? According to him, the game doesn't truly fit the debut label since it's not his very first project. The creator, who goes by Vedinad or sometimes John Megabonk on social media, shared this revelation on X, formerly Twitter. He called the nomination an honor and a dream for Megabonk, but he felt compelled to point out that he had previously developed games under different studio names, which disqualifies them from this specific category. To help beginners understand, the Game Awards are like the Oscars of the gaming world, celebrating the year's top titles across various genres and achievements. The Best Debut Indie Game Award highlights fresh voices in the indie scene. Think small teams or solo developers creating innovative games without the backing of massive corporations. It's all about spotting those breakout successes that haven't been around forever. But for Vedinad, honesty won out. He graciously thanked fans for their support, votes, and the nomination itself, while promising an upcoming update for Megabonk to keep the momentum going. Even the event's host, Geoff Keighley, chimed in on the situation. He acknowledged Megabonk's withdrawal, noting that Vedinad, the developer's current name, has a history of creating games under other banners in the past. Keighley praised the developer for his transparency, which is refreshing in an industry where rules and definitions can sometimes blur. Now, and this is the part most people miss, fan reactions on Vedinad's post added another layer of intrigue. Many expressed doubt, arguing that Best Debut Indie Game should focus on the studio's first release, regardless of the developer's prior experiences elsewhere. It's a fair point. Imagine if a chef's restaurant was judged as a first venture just because the head chef had cooked at other places before. One standout comment quipped, "Wait until you hear about indie games in the indie category that are backed by multi-billion-dollar corps," hinting at a bigger issue. Not all games labeled as indie are truly independent. Some might have hefty corporate funding, blurring the lines between genuine grassroots projects and polished productions. Fans, for the most part, showed respect for Vedinad's integrity, applauding his ethical choice. This raises some provocative questions. Should awards like this prioritize absolute newcomers, or is it okay for seasoned creators to re-enter the scene fresh? And what about those indie titles with deep pockets? Does that undermine the spirit of independence? We love hearing your thoughts. Do you agree with Vedinad's decision, or do you think the rules should be more flexible? Drop your opinions in the comments below. Let's spark a discussion on what debut really means in gaming. For more on the Game Awards 2025, check out the full list of nominees right here, https://80.lv/articles/voting@the-game-awards-2025. And while you're at it, don't miss out on 80 Level's exciting new digital art courses, https://80.gumroad.com. Subscribe to our newsletter, https://80.lv. Subscribe and join the 80 Level Talent platform, https://80.lv talent. Follow us on Twitter, https://80level, LinkedIn, www.linkedin.company80-lv. Telegram, Instagram, https://instagram.com/80level. For the latest breakdowns, news, stunning artworks, and more.